Welcome back to the Netherkast. I am Black Cyborg. You can call me Cyborg, you can call me Black, you can call me Cyborg, you can call me Black, you can call me somebody. Please help me out of here. I don't know where to go with this. This is episode 55.
You can call me Jay.
One of those things.
Forever. Okay, it's episode 55. I am joined by Razor, Shad, and Temp. How are you guys doing today?
All right.
It's
been a good day.
Yeah, is there like a... when are they going to reveal like a character people give a shit about, am I right?
I am unwashed and somewhat slightly dazed, as the Bowie song said, but really happy for you. Motherfucker's looking good.
Dude, he was on the top of your list too.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's always... What? What?
Did you just like pop a Snickers into your mouth before we started?
What kind of pedestrian do you think I am?
A pedestrian?
If I'm going to enjoy a Snickers, which is my favorite chocolate bar, by the way.
Of course it is. That's why I said it.
I'm going to do that, like, naked on my couch while I can enjoy it in private for the gloriousness that it is. No, now I am having the standard Nature Valley Sweet and Salty Peanut Bar made with real peanuts. 35 grams. Ingredients are... Okay, but you get the point.
It sounds like you chomped on a whole loaf of
I
bread.
haven't eaten anything for like 5 damn hours. I'm
You're gonna say
starving.
days. I was
Either
gonna start
way.
to worry.
I've been on the road for like 3 hours of that. Just public transportation this evening. It's cold. We had a fucking quasi snowstorm last night. I went to bed. It was all right, kind of chilly. I woke up and there was snow again, people.
Speaking
All
of
the
snow,
rain washed everything away. But yes, Dr. Fate looks really good. And you know that feeling you get when one of your friends sees a guy that he's really fucking happy for, that he really wanted in? That's how I'm passively happy right now. And yes, he was on the top of my list too, but I'm thinking of you here, buddy. Way to go, BC.
I'm thinking of me. He looks good. I kind of want to get in on that now.
get in on it. Let's all play Dr. Fate. Fuck it. You play Dr. Fate. I'll play Blue Blee 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 Blah. And Razor.
You know, it's like people are ashamed to have a night full of mirror matches, and I endorse this. We should just fucking have a night of mirror matches. Everyone should just get good with one dude.
I was just gonna say,
We've actually done that. We actually did that with Reptile, with me and Redman. We had a first to 50.
get it.
Huh.
We did that in MK9. We called it Cover with Scorpions.
Razor
What?
can play Black Manta.
Yeah, that's happening.
Burn.
That's a guy. So I have a story about that. So Smoke Man yesterday, he says, Ed Boon said on Twitter that the next character is going to be someone deep in the lore, the sea, Manta. And I'm like, yeah.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
And I'm like, it's Dr. Fate, motherfucker. You watch. Fucking called it.
Nah, had I not been indirectly, subtly tipped off, I probably would have said Scarecrow or Captain Cold. But, well, Captain Cold, no, even that was too optimistic. I was 80% sure it was Fate. 80% sure, and unfortunately I was right, but I was still blown away when I saw him. Because there's knowing it, and there's fucking seeing it.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I mean, we've known it since he was on the damn T-shirt.
Yeah.
And then on the leak list. So, I mean... Yeah, that's why I never really wanted to get too excited quite yet, because, like you said, there's a difference between knowing it, or there's even a difference between it being strongly, strongly, strongly possible and likely, and actually to the point of seeing him in the game is everything. I don't buy into this Rain is going to be an MKX because he's in the story trailer hype package. I wanted to wait till we saw him in the game, because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take for it to be absolutely 100% confirmed. So now, super pumped about him, super excited. I think he looks tremendous. I wouldn't change a damn thing about him. I think he looks like a lot of fun. I think you're right about his dashes and that they look like teleports, because they're just like little short, because he does it several times throughout the video, and I watched it back a few times after we were done recording, and I also saw that it looked like he did it a few times, so it looked like that maybe his dash is the teleports, which would be absolutely cool. It makes me wonder if he can be hit in that brief second that he's not shown. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, everything about him looks fun. I love the little hand gestures, like Jack. It makes him look like Jack Sparrow. I was trying to think of a good character that does those weird little trippy hand motions while he wanders about, and that to me thinks Jack Sparrow. So I love that kind of aspect about him. It's very trippy and mystical, magician. It's kind of all that stuff wrapped into one. I love his movesets. He looks very, very interesting. So I like that you said he's rushdown slash zoning, because obviously
Yeah,
that's
he
very
definitely fits that pattern for sure.
that's very
You
much
don't get
what
a lot of,
Katana
like,
is.
Rush down mages. It's very nice to see that for a change. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think the style will mesh well, even if it doesn't. Oh well, I'm gonna play him because he just looks absolutely fantastic. He looks like a lot of fun, regardless, and I'm definitely super stoked that we finally got him revealed, and I could not be happier with the way he looks. Look is a big thing to me, and I think the way they did his attire, along with his color set and everything, just from head to toe, I love the way his outfit is created.
Real quick, have you seen his render at the website yet?
Yep, I did.
Yep, it's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I have not. I should get on that right now.
It's pretty nice. Like, I love shiny shit, so the gold looks fantastic.
Indeed.
Do they have IO text with it?
Yep, they do, and I'll
Yep.
read that off for you. It says, "What comes next? Mere mortals cannot stop. Powerful sorcerer Kent Nelson wears the helm of fate and sees the fate of all mankind, for better or worse. He knows the world will end, either by Brainiac's hand or in a war between Batman and Superman. Though the helm compels Kent to preserve this grim fate for the sake of order, Kent's humanity compels him to intervene on behalf of his heroic friends and risks the unforeseeable consequences." Pretty badass.
And I actually like this costume better than the comics. Like, I love the animations of the cape. I love all the details.
Oh yeah, this is
I will
detail done
admit-
right.
Yeah.
I was-
Well,
yeah.
with the 3D of his armor, it almost has, and let me know if I'm crazy, but it almost has like a nautical aesthetic. Are you guys seeing that even a little bit with the colors?
Just
and
a
the-
little bit. Just a bit.
Okay, but it works. I say that in a good way, and the render can't do it justice. But the cape animations look so good to me. It's the best cape in fighting games. I love it.
Cape tier
Oh, it's so good.
confirmed.
You know what else? You know what else is the best in fighting games?
What's that?
I
That
haven't.
voice. That fucking voice.
Oh yeah.
He sounds amazing, imposing, and mystical, and all the qualities you guys just fucking listed. I think that is legitimately one of the best voices in fighting games since Street Fighter.
I would describe it as Zordon meets Wizard of Oz. That's kind of what I feel like they were going for. But what do you guys think? How would you describe that voice?
I think of kind of like what Bane sounds like, but less kind of mechanical and more mystical, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's very interesting. It has that
It's
very
ethereal.
yes.
Really ethereal.
Yeah, it's
There's sort of like a
imposing.
reverb distanceness kind of going on with it. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's coming from behind something metallic. It's got that helmet reverb.
Right. I love,
As it
as I said in the reaction video, I love the padding that goes from his side down like the pant legs on the side. I think that looks really, really cool. I mean, like I was saying before, it's detailed done right. It's not overdone with a bunch of lines for no reason. Everything feels like it serves a purpose, and I agree with you, Temp, that if it was just strictly his comic uniform, it'd be a little bit bare on those details. But I think this is a nice compromise where you have details that, you know, bring out certain aspects of the character. It's their own take on what the character's outfit would look like, but it's done in a way that actually really just kind of embraces the whole character and enhances the overall visual of what he has going on there. I think it looks really, really cool. I love the cape going down into the chest piece the way it does, and the way the chest piece is metal like that. To me, that screams very much kind of like you said, nautical, but I attribute that to a very Egyptian, kind of like how an Egyptian
Oh, yes.
mummy would be buried, kind of like King Tut's helmet and all that. That's very much what I attribute to that look and design with. So I'm definitely really just blown away by this character. I could not, like I said, I could not be happier. So yeah, any worry or fear on how they'd make him look or how they'd make him play, I completely 100% satisfied on.
it was a character that I knew whatever they did, it would be a lot of fun to talk about. Because if he's awesome, he'll be a lot of fun to talk about. If he's lackluster, that's a blow up. It's going to be fun to talk about. And thankfully, it was the former. He's really, I mean, there's no real complaints. I mean, it's to me it beat the Swamp Thing trailer, which I did not think was going to happen. I didn't think anyone was going to beat the Swamp Thing trailer. So that was really good stuff to me. I still think Swamp Thing just barely has a better outro, just barely.
Oh,
I mean, it's hard to bank Leaf Wings are a hard thing to top. You don't just do that, but it's close.
Yeah, I love both their outros. I'm a sucker for intros, outros especially because usually they look very stylish. I like a lot of the ones in the games. Honestly, I like Blue Beetles. I like Supergirls, though they changed Supergirls oddly to a different angle, which I thought was kind of weird. But anyways, sticking to the point, Dr. Fate has an awesome outro, so I'm completely in agreement with you. I'd probably give the edge to Swamp Thing in terms of the outro, but I agree that Dr. Fate's trailer was phenomenal. And that's a tough beat because Swamp Thing was fantastic. So that is they definitely look like the two most interesting, fun, dynamic characters. Definitely they came through in spades in terms of really delivering on characters that fans really wanted in this game. So way to go. Definitely very cool.
Every single time they show off someone new now, I just get a little bit moist considering the possibility of Red Hood in this game. I mean, for everything that is suboptimal, there's something like Fate or Swamp Thing that they just knock right the hell out of a park. I feel confident saying that apart from Superman really looking like Charlie Sheen, there ain't going to be another Raven face in this game.
Yeah, man, they're doing really well. I think the dog barking. I think that Scarecrow is the only character that's really kind of polarizing at this point, and fans are really wanting to see him revealed for the game just so they know how to feel, whether his in-game model is going to win people over that are currently skeptical or not feeling it so much. And those who are open to how he looks want the in-game version seen just so we can, feel reaffirmed in that notion, or if we need to start to worry a little bit more. So I think Scarecrow's trailer, when they eventually, unless they do it in like a Arkham Villains trailer, if he does get his own trailer, I think it still is going to be up there along with Swamp Thing and Dr. Fate in terms of style, because he has a lot of potential to have a badass trailer as well.
The conspiracy theorist part of me actually always kind of wonders stuff like this. Like, what if all the mobile leaks were really just a controlled experiment to see if they could get some fan opinions on Scarecrow's relatively bare-chested and potentially bare-bones design? Maybe they just wanted to see what people thought.
Well, there's actually good news in that, and you mentioned this earlier in the chat, is there's over 1,000 pieces of gear per character. So I think we can feel a little bit safer about old Scarecrow having enough gear, whether you like his base version or not, enough gear to kind of cover him up and offer some of those classic looks that people are looking for. Plus, we may get a premiere skin of him that completely revamps the way he looks to give a more classic Scarecrow appearance, or even from the Arkham games without it, because there's nothing saying that premiere skins can't exist to change the character's looks entirely but still maintain the same character. So not every premiere skin has to be a different character. We don't know that, but with as many options as we're getting, I mean, holy crap, that's a lot of gear. And I could have sworn I saw on Reddit somewhere, and I don't know the validity of this, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but somebody said, I guess written one of those articles that were covering the gear in the game, that there's more premiere skins, or they said something to the effect that there's a lot of premiere skins or shaders that change the character. So I don't know where to take that. Obviously take it with a grain of salt for now, but I'm cautiously optimistic here.
I'm just going to go ahead and assume that basically any major TV or media form of a character that's been present within the last 20 years, maybe even further than that, like going back to say, 66 or so, will be possible to recreate based on the gear that we're going to be getting.
I hope we get 60s Batman. I want Adam West Batman. That would be awesome.
Everything except for Nicholson's Joker, because Nicholson owns the rights to that general look and the merchandising thereof. You're not going to get any of that. But I hope you fuckers like
Weird that
89
he
Batman.
did that, because that's the most comic accurate Joker there's been in a movie.
It's a goddamn shame, but yes, thank you, Racer, thank you.
But yeah, I am just I feel like there's a lot more to this game that they're letting on, and they've held back a lot. I mean, not just on the gear sense. They've even said that there's still surprises left that they're really excited about. That there's just big things that they have not let on about. But even just if we take it from what we're finding about today with the gear system itself, over 1,000 pieces per character. That is a ton. Even if it's just minor differences. I mean, you're still getting a million different Superman symbols. You're getting classic Superman symbol. You're getting Red Sun Superman symbol, as we know. They confirmed that you will have full-on sets for characters. So if you want your Batman Beyond Batman, you will get an entire set that captures the likeness of that character. It's not just going to be a random mask that gives you a part of that character. You're going to get entire sets for that, and as well as sets bonuses, but we don't really get that. Django, by the way, said, I believe it was him that said, they mentioned something about in ranked mode. It was confirmed that I guess in ranked mode right now, it's going to be stats off, but abilities on. I'm trying to go back to the chat to see who he said.
I saw that briefly.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
He said apparently there's reports coming from GDC that ranked mode is keeping abilities now. Gear stats still disabled. I don't know if that means in the final game that's what it's going to be, but currently, apparently that's what's being reported from GDC. Thoughts?
I mean, it'd be good. I don't feel. Yeah.
It's going to be a rocky start as people find the most overpowered combinations of moves to slap together and basically make people into Cable circa MBC2. It's gonna happen. It always does. But they will iron that shit out eventually. I'm not too worried.
Yeah. I obviously am pro abilities, so I want to see them happen, whether that's just their own little thing in customs that you can, like I said, it's its own little option that you can turn on separate from stats. I'd be perfectly fine with that. I don't need necessarily ranked mode to have abilities on. That means nothing to me whether it is or not. But yeah, if that is what they go in for the initial start, then hey, great. Then at least the abilities will not be taken off the table for those that want to kind of, prepare competitively.
I feel rather on the. I don't want to even say on the fence. I don't really have any feelings. I didn't get to spend any time with the abilities, unfortunately. So I don't know. I still don't know the extent they're going to impact the game. So we'll see. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I trust NetherRealm to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to cover? Because I mean, we could really tap a little bit further into the gear video. They did show off about, I want to say maybe 20 to 30 shaders for Harley. So, I mean, there's a lot more than we're expecting. And I mean, when you say over 1,000 pieces, obviously there's a lot there to choose from. But even just like the shaders, Harley had like 30 different color combinations to her.
I mean, I'm a little curious about how the 1,000 pieces breaks down, because everybody has like, 6 body slots?
Right.
And then there's like, when they say 1,000, do they mean unique designs, or do they mean like, here's a version of something you already have with different stats?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's like the beta. You're gonna get those subtle differences that might just vary in stats and stuff like that. It's hard to tell really. But yeah, I'm just going off of some of the stuff that we saw. When you watch the video, they do show off a good degree of options. I mean, even Swamp Thing's like club that he swings around had about at least cool. 10 different versions to at least 10 different looks to it, and that itself, I mean, is pretty damn cool. Even if there's only 10 different versions of each part of a character, and then you just apply different stats to flesh it out. But I mean, we're underselling that. There's obviously going to be more than 10. We're looking at a more realistic, probably 20 different versions of each part. I would say is a more fair way to go about it. Because I mean, 1,000 pieces is quite a lot. And then plus a ton of abilities. They said abilities are going to range on the character. So obviously certain characters are going to have more abilities than other characters based on demand and popularity, I'm sure. And yeah, you get all those shaders and stuff. So I don't know. I'm just really stoked. They talked about how those are unlocked. There's going to be a currency system in the game. You earn coins. You use those to purchase mother boxes. The mother boxes are from like bronze, silver, gold to diamond, I believe. And the different quality of the boxes probably determines the quality of item that you get out. So that's interesting. I mean, I think that's essential. You don't want to unlock a different piece with each fight because you'll burn through everything really quickly. So from their end, they're going to want people to keep coming back. They did say if you get duplicates, which is possible, eventually you will be running into duplicates of your own item. You can sell them back for coins. So it's very similar to how Overwatch and games like that work, which I'm perfectly fine with. I find those games manage those systems quite well. I don't ever really feel frustrated in terms of how those systems work. They did confirm that there will be no microtransactions in terms of you can't buy the boxes, you can't buy specific gear pieces. They did not say whether you could buy the coins or not. So I noticed they specifically did not touch upon that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do put something like that in. I don't know. He was kind of dancing
I feel
around
like
it.
wouldn't that be a
it's-
microtransaction?
It
If they
was.
include the currency?
No,
At some point, when
Did
you
did they ever say there's no microtransactions in MKX because you can buy coins in X?
Well, they said there's no microtransactions, or he didn't say there's no microtransactions. He said there's no way to buy the gear and there's no way to buy the boxes that you get the gear from. He did not say there's no way to buy the coins. She didn't ask that question. So, and she also made it seem like, there seems like there'd be a hook to how good this is. And he said, maybe there's no hook. And he, Derek kind of danced around it, but he didn't say there's no hook. He just said, maybe there's no hook,
there's a hook. There's
So
always
to
a
me,
hook.
when he doesn't
It's-
say outright there's no hook, there's no microtransactions at all, to me that says there's likely going to be some sort of hook. There's going to be microtransactions. It's more of a matter, is that hook going to be a bad hook? Is it going to be a tolerable hook?
I'm sure
I think it's
it'll
gonna
be
be fine.
something. I'm sure it'll be
Make it-
something you absolutely don't need, like 10 easy fatalities.
It's gonna be there for people that don't want to take the time to earn the currency. It's gonna be for those like, hey,
I do hope that the in-game currency is nice and readily available and not like doled out like shit, like fight money in Street Fighter V.
you mean take
We're
forever?
saying, we're saying this in the chat, and like I have enough faith to believe that most companies have now looked at Capcom for several examples of what not to do with game currency.
Right.
So I have faith that we'll be able to get shit, but MKX did have that fucking goddamned ass slot machine crypt thing in the graveyard,
Fucking hated that thing.
and it's just there's always going to be something to make getting things very low,
Yep.
unless you give them a little bit of scratch. I'm
If
waiting
I
for
had
it. I don't want to seem cynical. I'm just expecting it. That's all.
if I had to weigh in like the absolute worst thing that this generation has brought to fighting games, it's those fucking, what are they called? The little background thingies for your player when you're online.
The character cards.
Yes, character cards. Because everything now you have to unlock these little pictures. They aren't concept art. They aren't characters. They aren't costumes. They aren't anything you'd actually want to unlock. And yet they make up most of the unlocks in every fucking game now. Killer Instinct has them. MKX has them. I'm fucking sick of them.
Yeah.
Injustice 1 had them. Injustice 2 is going to have them.
If I was still like in school and I had all that much more free time, I would be right there with you. But as it is right now, I look at them and they're such a minor thing, and I'm seldom online anyway. And
Most of the time, when you're trying to unlock something, you have to unlock 10 of those to get the thing you really want.
yeah.
And that was the real problem with that goddamn slot machine in the crypt, was all I want was a piece of concept art, and I gotta go through 30 of those fucking things first.
Yeah. So going back to the gear video, there is a lot of cool stuff that they did show off, like actual examples, such as Batman did have a really badass looking helmet and uniform that you can unlock. He has a blue, it looks like a blue primary color with a yellow secondary color, which to me is awesome. I want more blue and yellow, blue and gray
I
classic
gotta go back
Batman.
to the video and like rewatch that. What the fuck? Do you have a time marker for that?
648 for the Batman. Blue Beetle also has a really awesome color scheme, which looks to be silver and gold. Looks really, really good. It's like a whitish silver with a gold accent, which looked really, really good. That's at 702, so very soon after the Batman stuff. So yeah, they showed off a lot of cool stuff. They showed off a mother box opening, so you kind of get that idea. They showed off a color scheme for Aquaman as well, so you see some of his shader stuff. He has like a purple and green thing going on. So it's very possible we'll get a scale mail shirt for Aquaman with his classic orange and green stuff going on as well.
I noticed with Aquaman's gear, none of it has names yet.
Yeah.
It was like Rare 44 and stuff like that.
Yeah. So maybe they're hiding certain things.
It's
Who
all
knows?
no, it might just be a work in progress.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
to me that sounds more along the lines of like placeholder names for shit. Like they have a set amount of X things that are harder to get than others.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
They
rare.
showed off a lot of really cool looking Blue Beetle armor as well. Some epic skin or epic armor pieces for him that actually looked really, really neat. They showed off some of his abilities lists. One's called a Aculus Strike. One's Alien Cloak. I'm guessing that's the invisibility. Mandible Flurry, Crawling Burst, Diving Mandible Strike, as was in the beta. My Rules, whatever the heck that is. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. So yeah, I mean, it really did kind of touch upon a lot of the details here, and it showed some really, really cool looking stuff. Let's see, My Rules pops up for a second in the video. Let's see if I can.
Okay, that Batman costume at 646 is very G.I. Joe, but it's very interesting. I wouldn't personally go there, but it's nice. It's kind of like, I don't know, a superfluous scuba Batman action figure that you might get back in the 90s.
Right.
As just a color scheme, it reminds me of some like Adam West gear.
Yeah. No,
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I want purple gloves Batman, so I'm really, really hoping that we get that as a shader. I mean, I see no reason not to add that as a shader.
Complete with kick villains to their deaths and proclaim
Please.
it God's work.
Please give him a gun, give him a gun ability or something.
Golden Age Batman, don't fuck around, yo. He'll murder your ass.
So it looks like Blue Beetle's My Rules ability, it says the black and blue combo can now be meter burned. So I don't know what that is. Maybe Temp knows what the black and blue combo is. I'm not sure if he ever looked at the actual combo list to know which one that actually is, but you can meter burn that. So that's interesting. We saw some Swamp Thing.
Nobody
I don't know,
remembers.
I'm trying to think. I know his 3 or 4 main combos. I don't know which one was black and blue.
Yeah.
I imagine that's going to be the command throw one, but I'm not sure.
Perhaps. And then Swamp Thing, we saw some really cool looking, it was an epic spiked bracers of living earth. And those things looked awesome. It looked like spiky tree branches coming out of his arm, as well as the shoulder guard had like a giant like tree trunk looking thing with some flowers or mushrooms growing out of it. So some really cool stuff that makes, because I know that was one of the complaints about Swamp Thing from Temp's side, is that he looked a little alienish, more alienish than plant life. So the gear...
He was too smooth and shiny.
Yeah, the gear would essentially flesh that out to add more plants to him, so it kind of hides that, at least makes him look more plantish, which is cool, which is fair as well. Yeah, we saw one of the silver mother box. So it goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond are the 5 box tiers. So interesting there.
We've seen the mother boxes for a while now in the mobile
game. Yeah. So those are a shared thing. So it's possible that maybe in the mobile game you get coins like you did with MKX that can go cross-platform. So your ones in the mobile can be used in the main game, which would actually give a lot of reason to play the mobile game early, build up those coins, get more mobile box stuff so you can get more gear right off the bat. Yeah, Swamp Thing had like 20 different versions of his club, various spikes and branches, and that little question mark looking thing that we saw in the trailer, which is really cool. It's called I Am's Razor. I Am Razor,
which
what
is
it's called.
Weird because it doesn't have any sharp parts. It's just a shillelagh.
And earlier you mentioned how many pieces on the body can be altered. It looks like 5. Earlier we said 6, but it's 5 different slots that can be altered with gear, and then 2 ability slots with 1 shader slot. So interesting. But yeah, there's a plethora there of stuff going on. So I'm really excited for that aspect. I mean, I know it's just minor, but I think it's really badass how much they're packing into it.
Yeah, but there's got to be a hook, right? There's got to be a hook.
I don't give a shit if there is a hook, as long as that... See, I'm okay with games having things where... I'm okay with microtransactions, as long as I can play the game and earn everything on my own time. I'm okay with them doing, like, microtransactions, like, earn this shit faster if you want to spend hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever, that's fine.
Same thing.
I just don't like... I don't like
That's the bottom line.
microtransactions where it's the only way to earn something. That
If
to
I
me
can do
bothers
it
me.
myself, I feel like my principles haven't been horribly violated, and
Sure.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah. Because I'm going to play the game regardless. So, I mean, if I can wait to get the premier outfit until I've played the game for, a week or two. I'm okay with that because there's enough cool stuff in the game that I'm not too worried about that. One other note on the gear is it looks like Robin has one of his gear options is no cape. So, interesting to see if that goes anywhere in terms of other character premier skins or anything. Temp, you sound like you're going to jump in with something.
Yeah, I was going to say, my rule is 4 to 6 weeks. I should be able to unlock anything in a game within 4 to 6 weeks, in my opinion. If it takes longer than that, then they're coercing me via time consumption to do their stupid microtransactions. I think 4 to 6 weeks is reasonable. And that's assuming I play like at least 2 to 5 hours a day.
Sure.
Anything beyond that, no, that's player coercion. I don't like that. We'll see though. Like I don't know. I think given how much gear there is, I'm not going to hold them to that standard. But if you're getting the gear randomly, then I feel like I have to hold them to that standard. I feel like either it can't be random or it has to be. If it is random, it has to be within a reasonable amount of gameplay, like 100 hours of gameplay. You should be able to have all the gear, in my opinion. Win or lose, but
right. They did say.
Well, we know there's going to be rare shit, so just be ready to do some hunting. We'll see how rare.
Yeah, I mean, they did say also that they would be adding more gear, or it's likely that they'd be adding more gear through DLC down the line for like, I would imagine free. I don't think they're gonna start being like, here, $5 for this gear piece. I mean, they could, but I think the idea is if there's microtransactions, they want to add more gear so that way people have to eventually splurge more money if they're impatient to get the piece that they're looking for. That's how all that works. And like I said, Overwatch does it. Halo 5 did it, and both of them harmless that it doesn't affect the game, the gameplay aspect of side of things, I should say. But yeah, if you're purely into cosmetic and you're the type of person that you can't wait to get the character to look exactly like you want, yeah, it's safe to say you're probably going to want to throw down some money. But if you're the type of person that's like, okay, I'm cool with this character looking this way, and then eventually I'll get some more stuff to make him look even cooler, then you'll probably be just fine playing the game. So
I will say, if I unlock all of Aquaman's gear and there is no hook, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Hook for Aquaman?
There's your hook.
Or
There's your hook.
No hook for the system.
Now I want a hook.
Right?
There better be a
I
hook.
thought that's what you guys were talking about. I'm like, they're talking about Aquaman's hook, right? I didn't know the quote, so
Yeah.
I had no context for the quote, so...
There may not
Now
be
I
a
know.
hook. There may be a catch, and the catch is there is no hook.
Yes. It may just get confusing.
Too many layers.
Yeah.
That is lasagna semantics.
Good, Razor. Your first catch of the day. So.
Are y'all ready to talk about Aquaman's face and now how I can finally play this character?
Right.
It looks all right.
It's
It does look a bit
it's
better,
not
yeah.
offensive anymore. It doesn't hurt. Like, he no longer looks like a baby wearing a wig.
I mean-
now he looks so much better to me.
I mean, to be fair, he had a crown on in the video. I'm not sure how different it is.
You know what I'm noticing
Smoke
now?
Man and Redman sent me the comparison. Let me see if I can still find it for you.
While we're here, I want to point out that now that I've Googled just for a variety of images and captures, because earlier we were discussing Dr. Fate, I was like, let's see what kind of pictures the internet took or has available from today's trailer, and along with a bunch of really nice looking renders, I've found this one great screen cap of Dr. Fate just kind of grabbing Atrocitus with his little zap thing, and it's a view of Atrocitus from behind.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every single aspect and angle makes me hate this design more. Look at his ass. Look at Atrocitus' ass. It's like he sat down in the urine for 5 days and didn't wash. It's all like infected and red and shit. I cannot wait to erase every trace of
If
the
you want-
default design from this image.
By the way, Temp, if you want in-game Aquaman model beyond just the look of, let me look at
The
what you-
superpose is what I originally saw. But,
Well, there's
which
more
one were
than
you
just
looking
the,
at?
there's more than just the superpose. It's at 6:57, I want to say, in that gear video. So I'd load that back up.
657.
Yeah,
Okay.
his face is. I wouldn't say the features have changed, but it's now like longer and thinner overall, which is a
Oh, it's 6:56,
very good
6:55, somewhere around there. Yeah, 55
Yeah,
will
he
get
has-
you to it.
When Smokeman and Redman sent me the photo saying, "Hey, his face is different," my response was, "In game or it doesn't matter." But in game, it looks like that is our face now. So where did I
I'm
put
okay
the
with
video?
It's
It's,
right.
it is much
It's the
improved.
last thing you put before the picture.
Well, I was trying to go through my my YouTube history.
Oh, it's in the
Okay, we
chat.
got it.
But yeah, either way, at 6:55, yeah, it's where they're looking at what all gear he has right now, and yeah, it shows his face, so you'll see it in game. It doesn't look bad, I don't think.
Yeah, that's
Looks fine.
much
He looks
better,
like
in my
Arthur
opinion.
Curry.
What's that?
Yeah. What?
No, I'm just saying he looks fine. Looks like Arthur Curry. I don't see a problem with this.
Yeah, I'd say
Well,
give him.
yeah.
If you gave him if you got rid of all the armor that he has right now, say with that face and that haircut, you give him the orange shirt with the scales and everything, and the green pants and all that, with the little logo on his belt, I think you have your Aquaman you're looking for. So I think the face is fine.
I want to see some shirt gear just to play it safe. I haven't seen any gear where he has a shirt on, so that's making me a little nervous. But at least the face isn't. I mean, honestly, the character was unplayable before. I would not play that character. There's no money that can make me play the character. Now I'm interested. Now he's genuinely on my roster. He's my number 5 now of the 4 characters I wanted to play.
Blue
So
Beetle at
that's
701, by the way. If you want to see silver and gold Blue Beetle.
Oh, it does sound sexy. 701.
He kind of looks like Ultron 8 Flash.
Oh, that does look good. That looks fucking sexy. I like that.
So yeah. Yep. I think there's going to be enough options that you'll find a really good version that you like for just about every character. And yeah, obviously I'm using almost every character because we have Atrocitus still. So there's probably not going to be a version of Atrocitus unless he gets like a premier skin that's just his Red Lantern outfit. But
Yeah, like
But
that's
but just specifying, even Atrocitus doesn't quite match up to Raven's jaw. We're just getting that across here.
Oh yeah, no,
Now,
he still looks
the-
fine.
This game commits a few sins like Superman's head and Atrocitus is everything, but nothing's quite as bad as Raven. It's by far and wide. Everything here is mostly a great improvement.
Right.
Well, like I said, you're right. I do agree with you, but for different reasons. It's not as bad as Raven, just because Raven's one of my favorite characters. That's why it hurts so much worse. I would still say, let's say I wasn't a big Raven fan, Atrocitus's beef qualities would bother me way more. But I am a huge Raven fan, so it's a much worse offense because it is Raven. But her jaw's awful, don't get me wrong.
For me, the going back to the thing about all the different shaders, like I'm not a big like palette swaps guy. Like I prefer to play a character in their base color scheme overall. What's really interesting to me though is when they keep talking about these shaders that supposedly change the character, and it's like so far all we've seen them change is the colors on the armor. Are you saying there are whole costumes in a shader? Like I just want to see an example of this. I want to know what the fuck they're talking about, because that's what's most intriguing to me. That and the possibility of changing Hal Jordan's ring.
I think you just answered your own question.
I mean, it's a good question, but I'm not sure what they mean by that. I would like to do a roundtable, maybe not next episode, but in the future, of all the gear we want, all the shaders we want. But it's hard to ask that question even, because you're right. I'm not sure what they mean by that when they talk about the shaders in that way.
They keep talking about it, but we haven't seen any examples yet, and that's what's like weird to me. How they keep like teasing it, and it's just like I'm worried that, like, for example, Power Girl could just be Supergirl in white with a different voice. And, like,
So-
the shield is a hole. They could have changed that little, and whatever gear you put on Supergirl, it'll look the same on Power Girl, but white and with cleavage instead of an S.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, they went through enough trouble in Injustice 1 to at least do a different model for certain things, like, say, I don't know, Hal Jordan and John Stewart be kind of difficult.
I mean, that's true, but Injustice 1 had a traditional costumes, like alt costumes setups, and this just has the gear. So I just want to see how far away from the Injustice aesthetic we can get, because they keep teasing shaders as if that's where your like classic costumes are going to be hidden and things like that. And I like, in terms of what they showed us, where all it does so far is swap colors, I don't see how that's possible yet. Like, how is it a shader if it does something other than change the shades of things?
It's an odd phrasing. I do agree.
Yeah.
That said, I don't think that we're going to be seeing, like, I don't know, 5 different models for every character, but just, kind of where appropriate. We'll probably see a return of Cyborg Superman, maybe fucking... We'll probably even get Superboy. We could maybe get Superboy Prime out of Superman somehow. Like, I mean, just a few here and there. I have enough faith in them to like sculpt just some surprise models and trick us out a little bit. I can't envision them like just calling Supergirl and White Power Girl. They know there's way more than that going on, and I'm not just talking about breast size.
Just for me, I wonder like what is the outlet going to be that'll express things like a Batman versus Superman costume for Batman and that sort of thing? All those like, they do the tie-ins and the classic outfits and the like movie outfits in these games, and it's like, are those going to be pieces of gear or a whole like mechanic we haven't seen yet? And is that, I don't understand how that fits into the system yet.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
But I mean, the notion of having separate pieces like Batman 89 and gloves, helmet, unmovable neck cowl, and being able to like customize each and every aspect of those is really fucking droolicious to me. To build my own to build my own Batman 89, I do hope it's not like one set piece.
Yeah, see,
I hope it's pieces that work well and great together, but to be able to trick each part out, beauty.
I would take it either way. What I want is I build my own Batman out of stuff that's costumes Batman has worn in other stuff, not armor for this game. But I don't want to hype myself up for a thing that might not even exist.
1,000 different pieces. I'd say there's a fair possibility that we're going to have our Zur-Nar mirror match. I'm trying to be the positive one here. I have a lot of faith in this gear system. I don't have faith in being able to get everything in a relatively short amount of time. I think this is going to take months and months of work.
But I would say, like, I'm not trying to be negative. I have a lot of hope for the gear system.
Definitely.
What I don't have is a lot of faith in the artists who work at NetherRealm to have good taste.
Well, you do have precedent there. Yes.
Yeah. They need to prove themselves to me after the blunders of the past.
I'm just happy the gear system doesn't... I'll go on.
Just, have we seen Superman's gear yet? He has a hairpiece, right? We can fuck with his hair.
he has a weird Gambit headset.
But hair. I'm talking specifically hair here.
I have not seen anything that changes his hair.
Because I think the mullet might fix everything.
Yeah, I would kill for the mullet.
I just like something that puts some fucking curls over his forehead. Jesus Christ. Superman, where's the S curl?
I want business in the front, party in the back. That's what I'm going for.
The lack of S curl might denote evil. It's a possibility. It's very intense.
Well,
you know what? It actually wouldn't surprise me at all, because that S curl is a very old-timey 60s influenced image that kind of embodies his traditional values of truth, goodness, and the American way. He probably does not have an S curl on purpose.
Yeah, well, if you're like showing the story mode, fine. But fucking, there are other versions of Superman that I would rather play as than King Douchebag.
Yeah, that is true. It is a shame we don't have good Superman because that makes me not want to play the character. The fact that I can only play as Super Douche.
Yeah,
So,
right? That's
yeah.
off to fucking gameplay, the fact that he's not the character I want him to be.
I hope you guys like Eradicator, because you're gonna get some Eradicator if I
Okay,
have my way about it.
Again, if I can actually put Eradicator gear on him, then I will play Evil Superman. If I can get the fucking Bret Hart shades,
Damn straight. That's all I ask.
I can get down on that.
I do want to give a thank you to NetherRealm for fixing the face. It might as well be a character announcement. It's so big to me. I really can't do really bad aesthetics. Like, if something really bothers me to look at, it ruins the character for me. So it's awesome they were listening and they did something about it, because it's so much better. So yeah, shout-outs, like legit shout-outs to NetherRealm. Good stuff. I'm very happy about that. And Dr. Fate looks amazing. I don't even want to customize Dr. Fate. This is fine. I'll take what I'm seeing in the render. I will rock this out. This is good. I got a cape I love. I got the gold. I don't even really need to customize this guy.
Yeah, no, base Fate is solid.
It is a little weird that we haven't seen anything from Flash yet. Bane is starting to feel more and more out of place the more characters they reveal.
You know, it's only because we haven't seen the shit that they were going to do with him. Bane's had plenty of options over the ages. We're going to get everything from the Batman animated season 3 motherfucking gimp mask to, who knows, maybe even whatever the shit he was wearing ripped off from a luchador in Batman and Robin. He's not starved for choice.
Yeah. He was always a luchador.
Just to varying degrees. Some parts were a bit more. Some parts were a little bit more evident than others, depending on it. It's just, as long as he's not in the gimp mask, I'm good. You know.
I mean, I kind of want to play as like I don't necessarily need the mask from Dark Knight Rises, but I would totally put my Bane in a fur coat.
Oh, Razor, why did you do that? Now, whenever we have matches, I'm just going to start talking like this.
I too would like Bane to have the Squall Lionheart jacket. I think it would look good on him.
I believe that my gear is better than yours, sir.
You have it all wrong. I am the League of Shadows.
We were all going to do that voice anyway. There was no stopping that voice.
As soon as I'm done selecting my gear, then you have my permission to die.
Hello, Mr. UPS man.
Oh, you came in to rank with your default outfit. Old mine. I molded it. I was raised in it.
Oh, Bane. You're so Bane.
Be sure to tune in next week when we all just talk in Bane voices for the entire way through.
I love
over each other simultaneously.
I love that they went with that voice in Lego Batman.
Oh, Jesus fuck me Christ, did they really?
They did.
I cannot wait for this. I've got to see this movie now. It just became a priority. Thank you. But I mean, my question is this. Will Flash become the Black Racer with the skis? Can we give Flash... So I'm going to give Flash some skis.
Kind of doubting the skis.
Is it the Black Racer without skis? Because we kind of need that outfit. It's pretty badass.
Well, it's not, but I'm kind of doubting.
No, it's true. That shit's going to interfere with animation just a little bit. I'm guessing we'll get, like, ski-less Black Racer Flash or something. They can't nail everything 100% of the time, and I understand that.
Probably just regular Black Flash. I don't know if they'll go New Gods with him.
We'll see. Maybe they're avoiding New Gods associations for now that Granny Goodness has been deconfirmed.
Yeah, right?
Still salty about that, folks. Still really salty.
That's one less paycheck for Ed Asner.
It's just not something I was ever expecting to happen, but man, way to crush my dream under your heel, you know?
Yeah.
Let's say you, Cyborg, you gotten all quiet again.
Oh yeah, no, if I get quiet, it's probably because somebody's making noise, so I have to mute, and it's easier to edit out if I'm not saying anything. But no, I'm good. I'm excited for Bane. I just don't think I don't think there's a reason why they haven't shown him. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, but maybe he's changed more, much like Harley and Wonder Woman did. So they're holding off on that special reveal, gameplay breakdown, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, I think
Or
they're
they're
excited about Bane's. Yeah,
Or I'm just gonna say maybe there is gonna be a Gotham villain rogues
Yeah,
gallery trailer, and
that's-
they put him in that as well.
That's what I'm leaning
Ooh.
towards. That's really what I'm leaning towards. It's going to be like
Holy
the
shit!
Sirens.
What?
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, Bane, and fucking Scarecrow. I didn't even fucking think about that.
Yeah,
That's
well-
crazy.
Well, I mean, it would go in line with how they did the girls. Poison Ivy was shown off in the trailer along with Bane, but we never actually got to see her gameplay. Catwoman was returning, and Cheetah was completely new. So it would be similar case here where Scarecrow or Bane was the one that was revealed in the trailer, but we haven't seen any gameplay. Scarecrow is kind of one where we've seen some stuff on, but we haven't actually seen him in the game. And then you could kind of say Mr. Freeze is the completely unannounced type of one. Who knows? Throw Joker in there maybe, but I would hope not. But yeah, either way,
You know
I would
what?
imagine that's the case.
Like, honestly, that leaked list is, like, pretty conspicuously narrowing down towards mostly Batman villains being the ones who are left. Not everyone. I mean, we still got Captain Cold to show, too, but...
Firestorm as well.
And then yeah, some of the returning ones such as Green Arrow and Black Adam and stuff like that.
Firestorm, huh? Maybe a Fire versus Ice trailer.
That could be cool. You know, Bane's not weird. Flash is a little weird. I am kind of wondering why we haven't seen Flash yet.
It's he is conspicuous by his absence, because he was in the very first goddamn trailer.
Well, for fuck's sake, I mean, a Flash and Captain Cold trailer. That kind of writes itself. Arch enemy's right
that
there.
would be cool. Oh, God, you guys are coming up with all sorts of good shit.
Yeah, see, they will not do any of it though.
I can't be too hard on them today. They did a good job. They did good shit today.
We cannot possibly claim ownership over the idea for a trailer. So go ahead, NetherRealm. These are all
Yes.
yours.
You're welcome.
Run with them, you crazy, wild, wonderful fools that I love so much.
Ooh. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I think we pretty much hit on everything that was announced today. So, Dr. Fate, all the gear stuff. So, a lot of good stuff there, guys. If you haven't heard already, I mean, I've been trying to plug this more, but our Facebook group, there is a closed Facebook group. So, if you're hearing this, then we value, you coming, joining us in our discussions, our day-to-day discussions on the closed Facebook group. Just ask to join. We'll accept you there. We've had a few people join in the last month, so definitely go do that if you're into discussions and all that good stuff. Yeah, check out the Injustice Comics series review that we're doing. A lot of people have been kind of saying that they've been going back and rereading the comics, so I know it's a lot to keep up with since we're putting out an episode every day because we're trying to make sure we get everything done by the time Injustice 2 comics start, which is in April. So our series is going to end, I think, like 4 days before it starts, so we didn't really have any time to do it any other way than to just start putting them out every single day. It's been hectic to keep up on our end, but definitely check those out if you can keep up. And yeah, because a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of good character moments. But on that note, take care, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. And the next character reveal is on the 9th, so next Thursday. Looks like Thursday is the day for character reveals. So we'll see you next Thursday for hopefully another exciting character reveal. And Nethercast, of course.
If I make mumbling noises the entire way through next week's, it's because A, it's not like someone I care about, which is very hard at this point, and B, I'm playing Zelda. I'll try to do my best for you folks, but I make no promises.
Oh, while we're plugging things, everybody should get River City Ransom Underground. It's like $16 on Steam right now.
Do it. On that note, take care.
Good night, folks.
Stay safe, everybody.
Reveal Flash already, goddammit.
stop.